My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of F1. Oh, is it called F1 the movie now? Because I could have sworn it was just F1, but now I see it being called F1 the movie. But, anyways, you know what movie I'm talking about, and everybody seems to be loving this movie. But not me. No, I'm going to be the contrarian here. So let's begin by talking about the cast. And Brad Pitt is one of my favorite actors. He's brilliant in The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. I think he should have won an Oscar for his performance in Babylon. He did win an Oscar for his performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and rightfully so. He's great in Inglourious Bastards. The guy is just a top-notch talent, and I think he does a perfectly fine job here. He carries the movie well enough, and he brings enough to this character. I do wish he was given better material to work with, but he does make the most of it. Then we've got Carrie Condon, who I think should have won an Oscar for her performance in The Banshees of Inisherin. I also thought she was really good in Better Call Saul. And she does a fine job here. She's likable and charming enough, but I still don't think she fully gets there. This romance that forms between her and Brad Pitt, it's sweet enough, but I wasn't overly invested in it. Then we've got Damson Idris, who, okay, his performance is good. He's very charismatic, and I think he does everything that he needed to incredibly well, but he is dragged down by the script. Then we've got Javier Bardem, who I think is such an underrated actor. Everybody talks about him in Skyfall and No Country for Old Men, and yeah, I get it, rightfully so, but his performance in Mother is just brilliant. And I thought he did a pretty decent job here. He does elevate this character. And then we've got Tobias Menzies, and I thought he was really bad. Like, there's this one plot that gets introduced in the last act that felt so tacked on, and I really didn't care for anything with him. So, the movie is well acted, and it's kinda well directed by Joseph Kosinski. I actually do find this man to be very underrated because Only the Brave is a good solid movie. Tron Legacy is so awesome, and Top Gun Maverick is just a magnificent movie. But here, look, this is a racing movie, and okay, I was entertained during the racing scenes, but everyone just felt the same. There wasn't really any distinction between them, so, it's well put together, but I kind of wish they stood out more as individual scenes. But that said, this movie still sounds great, and it is a very well shot movie. There was lots of shots with fireworks, and those scenes just looked stunning in IMAX. But I would also say that this movie lacks any bit of tension. Like, at no point did my palms get sweaty, mom spaghetti. And for a racing movie of this type, that's kind of what you want. And I also just found the script to be baffling. Like, the story feels so unbelievably empty, and I never cared for the characters. I was never truly invested. and I never felt the highs. You know, like there's this one montage where it turns out the team is doing a great job, and it just didn't hit me on an emotional level. Also, throughout the movie, we get told that Brad Pitt is the best driver. And I just don't believe that. Like, for so much of this movie, he's kinda not that good. And I also felt like the dialogue was trying way too hard. There are a few moments where you could just tell they thought it was something really clever, and I didn't really think that it was. But then we get to the ending, and look, I understand the ending, I understand the main character, but that said, I did not like the ending whatsoever. I found it to be very unsatisfying, and it made it so there was no real character arc. You know, like you get to know this character, but he doesn't really change throughout the movie. And I thought they made a baffling decision that really ended the movie on a sour note. And this movie, by the way, is very long. It is 2 hours and 40 minutes. There is no justification for that one time. No, absolutely not. And when the story feels empty and you have that much time, it just pisses me off. Like, there is no reality will I ever watch this movie again. And at the end of the day, there's moments here, it's well acted, it's kind of well made, but it does feel like every other racing movie. It just does. There's only so much that you can do with characters in race cars, and I'm kind of getting tired of it, and maybe it's time to put an end to this type of movie. So, I know it sounds like I hated the movie, but I didn't. That said, the more I sit with it, the less I like it. A few redeeming qualities isn't enough to save this one. It just isn't. The movie lacks tension, it lacks emotion, you don't care for the characters, the drama is poorly done. Like, it's maybe entertaining enough, but I can't in good conscience recommend it. So I'm giving F1 the movie a 4.5 out of 10. I actually just realized that I think Brad Pitt should have won an Oscar for 2022 for his performance in Babylon, and I thought Carrie Condon should have won Best Supporting Actress for her performance in The Banshees of Inisherin for 2022. Just funny how that works out. But anyways, this movie is a disappointment, but have you seen F1? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.